Howdy folks, Monty here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's another weekend, it's another 5 White Dwarf special, this time sequentially. I want to point out some of these are US editions, which in the past have meant absolutely nothing. But anyway, let's do them the right way around to start off with. We're starting off with 135, then 136, then 137, then 138, then 139, and lastly 140. Most of these are the US editions except for 140, which is just a regular one. So, let us have a look at this one. 135 in the US edition. We seem to have what looks like a combined human and dwarves versus orcs. A nice Warhammer Fantasy Battle scene. We're looking at March 1991. We have Dave Andrews, Brian Ansell, John Blanchett, Phil Lewis, Rick Priestley and Nigel Stillman in the front. And this is edited by Simon Forrest. Orcs, here we go. Orcs in Warhammer 40,000. Is that what I did? I think I did freebooters rather than Here We Go. I should do Here We Go. But probably the same situation with regards to the pages falling out. Anyway, so looks like a good amount of stuff. So this is the freebooters of the Prince Any Day Now. Freebooters, a book. So somewhat ironic. These are HeroQuest expansion figures. So this might actually have US shops in it, but no, it seems to be still very heavily UK oriented, even though it's the US edition. We've got news from D-Rock. Completed final mixing on Oblivion, their first album to be released on the Warhammer label. So now we've heard the finished album at the studio. We're very excited about it. Wonder if we can hear that on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can probably hear D-Rock Oblivion on YouTube, I'm sure. It still looks very UK-centric for the US issue. I think we've editorialized that previously. Oh, look at this. Dark Future Publications. And this looks like Elvis, the comeback tour. Look at that. Canadian and US events. California, Santa Monica. Now, let's see if we can find the Gamers Paradise, Illinois. Are there any California stuff? Okay, so there's Alpha Omega Games. That's in New York, Virginia, Pennsylvania, California, Long Beach. Dragon's Lair in Long Beach. I've been to the Dragon's Lair. That's a beautiful store still in Long Beach. So hats off to the Dragon's Lair still operating. Any more of the Californian US? San Diego, California, not quite. Burbank. Okay, Northridge. Could that have been in Northridge? No, I don't think it was Northridge. I think it was definitely closer to Westwood. So I thought it would be Westwood Games or something like that. Anyway, that's a games tour that I went to back in the day. Bought some Imperial Guard, looking very Cadian-like. Spent a bit of time on eBay last night looking for Lehman Russ tanks, generic Lehman Russ tanks, of which the UK has a number of offerings currently through a single seller. The US has no offerings currently of Lehman Russ tanks. I was thinking almost of, buying them in pounds, but at least buying one in pounds and probably coming back to the seller to buy others so I could afford them accordingly, because my Imperial Guard are lacking some Lehman Russ, and I'd like to have some Lehman Russ in there. Anyway, the Ruined Temple. Ooh, we've got a bunch of wood elves here. A bunch of nice looking wood elves. So, related news, I was supposed to go to my friendly local game store today. The family was doing a road trip down there. And I need to point out all my local game stores are 17 miles plus away from me, which are just the distance where it becomes ridiculous to actually go to a friendly local game store. Anyway, so I was going to attend this game store, which is marked as Games Workshop on Google Maps, even though it's clearly not a Games Workshop. It's clearly a game store that someone just marked as a Games Workshop. Games Workshop obviously never cleaned it up. Anyway, so it's currently about 10:30 in the morning. The family was leaving about 10:30. The game store didn't open till 2 p.m. So it's just like, well, that's a plan that wasn't going to happen. I was going to record a video and everything of Monty going to a local, in inverted commas, game store, but sadly no. Bad dogs. It was not meant to be. My hope was that they might even be playing some Warhammer the Old World there, but hey. Orc Gene Stealer hybrids, I always liked these. Never really made them into a popular figure line. That was designed for you to actually do your own bashing. Modelling guide from John Blanchard. Dale Hurst's Zinch. Oh, he's done a lot of converting. That explains how he's done the converting. Nothing like converting on metal. Filling the gaps, always important. So yes, oh look at this. These people have had fun, haven't they? Making some nice Orc Gene Stealer hybrids. Perhaps with plastics, I think, yeah, maybe. Plastics and metal, clearly. But yes, I've almost forgotten what a friendly local game store was like. There's one here called the War Games Room, which is literally on the other side of town, literally where we used to live, ironically. Now that's quite a nice store. But I get there, I don't know, once every 6 months if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky. I think I've seen some of these figures before. I don't think I've actually seen this issue, but it does look like a one that I might have traipsed through, or at least very similar stuff traipsed through. Orcs versus Eldar. We're in the early days of the high contrast painting schemes. Which I guess, was that called Hero Hammer? I don't know what the vernacular is for it. But some vehicle points by Nigel Stillman. Ooh, some nice vehicle cutaways here. Oh, you've got to love the Marauder section. Anything interesting in Marauder? Not really. Well, according to spoilers, a Chaos Army. Interesting. That would have been quite a nice Chaos Army to have. Oxford and New in Hall Street. Is that in Oxford too? Maybe its location in Oxford. Search and destroy, hold and secure. Interesting. The final conflict. This looks like a Space Hulk scenario. Marienburg continued. Sign of the Quill. The wholesale levers, interesting. That's Tannery. Games Workshop career opportunities. Project manager, assistant, art editor, staff writer. Oh, here we go. Here's some nice ones. These are unfortunately armless orcs, which unfortunately have never really appealed to me. I like the ones with arms. Oh, some nice aspect warriors. This was really the golden age of the Eldar. And yeah, some nice Imperial Guard on bikes too. I do like the Harlequin one. I wonder how much you can buy a Harlequin jet cycle for these days, if at all. I don't know. Flame Warhammer Fantasy Roleplaying. Look at this. A squid catapult. And some very generic looking Space Marines by Jez Goodwin. Not in any way like the Kev Adams ones. So issue 135 done. Now we move on to issue 136. Which is a nice Ultramarines battle on the front cover. Freebooters is out. We have Ivan Bartlett, Andy Chambers, Phil Lewis, Michael Perry, Rick Priestley and Nigel Stillman. Look, just Michael Perry alone. Only one Perry brother in this one. Interesting. Simon Forrest is still the editor. We're looking at the same kind of stuff. Ivan Bartlett in Oxford and Tim Prowl in Croydon. Space Marines in epic battle. The Orcs Battle Plan by Jarvis Johnson. Interesting. Oh, here we are. Epic battles, yes. We certainly have some orcs, and we certainly have some space marines. Set up and turn 1. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Turn 6. Victory and conclusion. Elder Guardian. Yes, they just look a little shabby to me, unfortunately, this high contrast period. It just didn't really have the nuances of the previous period of painting. They just looked all so uniform and also high contrast. The Magician's Son, a Warhammer Fantasy Story by Barrington J. Bagney, rather. Is the Croydon store? Gosh, it must be the really happening place. Workshop, United Kingdom and Canada. Crystal Managers. It's a very nice drawing. The Slaughterhouse, Steve Jackson Fist. White Dwarf. Warhammer, Beasts in Velvet by Jack Yeovil. Bretonnian Knights. More Bretonnian Knights Barding. Interesting. Interesting. Games Workshop Reading. Chris Blair, the painter and long-time friend of mine, was from Reading. So, is there a young Chris Blair in this photo? Who knows? It doesn't look like it. Questions and Answers by Rick Priestley. Bad Orc Bike Boys. Freebooters. Outcast Odd Boys. Renegade Speed Freaks. Corn Storm Boys. Orc Storm Boys. Renegade Runtmasters. Gretchen Bandits. Renegade Make Boys. Weird Boys Warpheads. Ooh, this is a nice undead army. It's all very uniform, unfortunately. That's the only thing I will say about it. I do like variation, particularly in my older Warhammer armies, but not really applicable here, unfortunately. Okay. Langburners. Gold Demon Awards Grand Finals 91. This was a pretty light issue, but you've got to like the epic stuff at the back. Epic Orcs. Oh, here we go. We've got all kinds of Eldar. All kinds of Eldar, including Harlequins. More Harlequins. Elder Guardian. And a Bretonnian Knight at the back. And Flame Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay again. Some battling Bretonnians by the looks of things. 137, a favourite cover of mine. The US edition again, not even sure what that really means with regards to this. This was bought by my friend in Game Gallery, just for fun. Okay, we've got May 1991. Dark Future on one side. Dave Andrews, Brian Ansell, Andy Chambers, Phil Lewis, Rick Priestley and Nigel Stillman. 1991. Anyway, we've got the UK retail stores again. Retail Opportunity. Middlesbrough. Oh, interesting. Here we go. Events in the UK, in the US and Canada. Realm of Chaos. Interesting. University Park, California. It's a Santa Monica store again. Interesting. Here we have the Slayer Sword. I wonder if they still give out Slayer Swords. I'm sure they've got it. Participation games. Here's the layouts. Still in Derby. The Slaughterhouse. Feudal Levy. A bunch of Bretonnians by the looks of these. Oh my goodness. These are still the old paint styles. A Skaven army. Andy Chambers describes his new Skaven army. Good on Andy Chambers. Oh, we got a A sideways image to rotate to. Oh, look at the contrast between the Skaven here, beautifully painted, and these contrasty Bretonians. Ugh. I go with the Skaven every time, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these nice little Skaven. Look at this stuff. My army is an homage to such beautiful Skaven. Oh yes, all kinds of good rats. Many of them are very similar, actually. That's the only thing I will say about the Skaven army. It's lacking in variety a little bit, but you gotta just love those colours. Gotta love the colours in contrast to the somewhat hideous, contrasty Bretonians. We're making a building here, a townhouse. Tools and materials, safety first. Templates for fantasy townhouse. Oh yes, The Last Stand, the Space Hulk campaign by Dean H. Bass. Look at this. Last Stand campaign. Break-in, the generator, the chapel. I really should get playing Space Hulk with my girls. They're just not quite the age. I'm thinking probably another 7 years. I was thinking that with regard to DJing equipment, as I can teach them to DJ. I've got video footage actually of me teaching my probably 7-year-old brothers to DJ quite capably. And they're just at the right age at that stage where they realise or appreciate what you could do by slowing a record down and speeding a record up. But anyway, still too young, unfortunately, with daughters. I'm spending my day recording an album, though. Well, an album. My albums are typically 3 to 5 tracks, so I think it's probably going to be a 3-track. Maybe not, maybe a 5-track, I think. Anyway, so I just recorded a bunch of piano and going to mix it all down, which is another hobby of mine, making music and mixing it all down. So if you put my name into your music streaming, even YouTube, you can put my name into YouTube and find music. The piano stuff is far more recent. When I was much younger, I used to DJ. So you'll hear that stuff if you want early on too. Look at me just talking about my stuff and not talking about this beautiful white dwarf with a bolt pistol. Oh yes, I love the confrontation images. It's a great drawing here. This is John Blanchard, original. You gotta love las guns when they used to look like that. And las pistols and flame pistols, they just really were very curious looking things indeed. And look, you can order the Skaven army. Oh my goodness, for the bargain price of 175 squid. Oh my goodness. So you get 30, 75 and 50. And if you order it all together, they'll give it to you for, they'll give it to you for 175. I think that's, I'd hope you get a little bit more for 175. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, you've got to be earning, anyway, the Skaven army is just beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, special fries here. Look, so they talk up here about 175. They talk here about 150. So I don't know. Anyway. Where was I at this time? Why couldn't I send... I guess I didn't have that kind of money at this time. But I do own a Skaven Force currently. Not quite the same, but still an homage to a Tom of a kinder, gentler time who couldn't buy the Skaven Force through mail order. Anyway, so we are moving right along to 138 with some nice gargants on the front. This is a US edition. I don't know what that means. Don't know if it really means anything at this stage. So, June 1991. We have Andy Chambers, Mike McVeigh, Rick Priestley, Tim Prower, and Nigel Stillman. Look at that clean-shaven Nigel Stillman. Virtually unrecognisable. Looks like a mere lad. Anyway, Death's Dark Shadow. UK stores. Oh my goodness, Citadel News. Look at this stuff. Was this made by the Perrys? Yes, Alan and Michael Perry. Very good. joining forces in this particular one. Oh, and a Dark Elf army. Interesting, interesting. Do we have the stats for said Dark Elf army? Yes, we have stats for said Dark Elf army. Oh, and a price increase. Oh my goodness. I think that's topical with regards to contemporary games workshop, but it impacts those of us that don't buy well or try to buy books very, very occasionally. Anyway. Look at this stuff. Illegal careers. A thief, a fence, a footpad, a counterfeiter, for instance. Footpad is a profession that really has not been very well noted in recent years. Oh, you've got to love this. So, a Monty story here. Towards the end of COVID, I got to see Guns N' Roses live. It was one of the most crazy things. I wore my mask. I was one of the very few people to wear a mask. I thought this is going to be the concert that I get COVID at. And for the first, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of it, they were only playing old songs. Oh, sorry, not, they were only playing new songs. I don't rate any of those new albums. Anyway, finally, I think they did Sweet Child of Mine. I think Sweet Child of Mine, was that the first one they did? Or the last one? I think they might have done Paradise City, and they did Sweet Child. Anyway, they did all the classics at the end. And it was way better. Like, the concert was really like a dud for the first 2 hours, just sitting there, and they went slightly late too. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, an amazing venue. I'm very glad that I got the chance to see Guns N' Roses. Of course, they're really old now, and they're arthritic. Slash is arthritic. He can't do the original chords for Sweet Child of Mine in particular require some pretty fancy finger work, and he's just kind of clutching them with his meat fists. So it was really very interesting to see them perform live. But yeah, a once in a lifetime thing. You've got to see Guns N' Roses perform live, and I mean, it's an homage to this time more than anything, or even a little bit earlier. But anyway, so yes, I was very pleased to see Guns N' Roses. Some of these are trying very desperately not to be the new style. Space Hulk Necromunda. Oh my goodness. This is mixing metaphors, if ever there was one. Oh, look at these Gene Stealers. Killing Ground. Oh, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, working our way through. Interrogation. Oh, so nice. Divide and Conquer. Poison. That's another hair metal band. Oh, I do like these ones that you cut out the additional pieces. They're always nice. Henchmen. New henchmen for Captain Sergeants, Elf War Dancers, Dwarf Troll Slayers, and Wizards Apprentices. Or Apprentices, more importantly. A Bretonnian army? Are they selling the Bretonnian army at the end or no? Nope. Yeah, army for sale at the end. Yeah, unless it's at the very back. Oh, Cambridge. Have I been to Games Workshop Cambridge? I don't think I have. I have been to Cambridge many times, but not Games Workshop Cambridge. This is hit location. I used to work for a company actually that was based, well, the main office was in Cambridge. So I'd have to go down to Cambridge periodically and see it. The train from Wilmslow to Cambridge took maybe 3 hours. But every time I took it, I just got so dehydrated. There just wasn't any... I think there was probably meal services on it, but for whatever reason, I just found I guess the air conditioning or whatever they were running, they had to be running air conditioning because it was a Virgin train. And I just found it so dehydrating. I'd come home and drink like 3 pints of water and start feeling remotely normal again. Norse dwarves. So yeah, Cambridge has always been an interesting place for me. I mean, actually, my father went to Cambridge. So way back in, I don't know, 1980, more importantly. Stephen Hawking ran over his foot, said, "Watch out, cobber." I'm not sure if he had a robot voice at the time. I've never gotten the exact details from my father associated with that story, but it's a good one. Terminators. Look at these beauties. Look at these beauties. My particular interest in Terminators has come out in some of the videos, but not quite as extreme as I probably should. I probably should get all my Terminators and put them together for a video once. This is not epic. It looks like epic on the horizon, but actually no, it's 28mm. Coming close to the end, folks. 139. I do like this image. I do like this image. You do wonder these people strapped up in their space machines doing all this, you know, what's called Space Navy? Whatever. 139. July 1991. We have Robin Hughes, Jarvis Johnson, looks like he's actually doing some sculpting. Andy Jones, Mike Murphy, and Tim Pratt. Nice to see Robin Hughes, but he's not actually editing the magazine still. It's still Simon Forrest. These magazines are so boilerplate initially. Kind of missed the, you know, odd articles. The Spanish Gold Demons. Wow. They're really branching out if they're having them in Spain. Games Day 91. Paul Robbins wins the Gold Demon Slayer Sword. Space Fleet. Look at this. World of the Galaxy. Oh, here we go. Do I turn it on the side for these? Not really. Interstellar Travel. The Warp. The Principle of Warp Travel. Oh my goodness. Imperial Spaceships. War Fleets. New Components. Space Fleet Boards. Spaceship Data Cards. Battle Fleets. New Rules. Spaceships and Weapons. I mentioned this on this channel, but I do live vicariously through YouTube for certain hobbies. It's one of the reasons I actually enjoy putting out these videos, because I get the sense that there might be people living vicariously through these videos. And I know for a fact there are actually. Mike Bay, painting your spaceships. Coventry. I know Coventry very well. It's one of the half a dozen or so cities that I've modelled in the UK. And for my London 1940 project, Coventry was one of them. And yeah, I do get a sense of Coventry as a place. Never been to Coventry, I don't think. Do they have the army list for this? I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Oh my goodness, you've got to love the Araboys. Some of these are a bit kind of reckless looking. But here we go. Orc and Goblin Special Meal. Look at this. Very nice. And John Blanc. Illuminations. White Dwarf. Look at these pictures. Oh, anyway, so there are a number of hobbies that I live vicariously through YouTube. One of them is Nitro RC cars, typically 1/10 and 1/7 scale. 1/8 scale, 1/8 scale, 1/10 scale. But yeah, there are half a dozen folks on YouTube that have particularly interesting Nitro RC car channels. And you get to enjoy the personalities of the people as well, which is probably, I don't know, I don't want to claim why my dear viewers might actually watch this. You've got to love these original Terminators, Blood Angel, just classics, absolute classics. Got a few in my collection as an homage. Games Workshop Cambridge still. Advanced Hero Quest Treasure. Yeah, I saw on YouTube a couple of, well, maybe last night, associated with getting your friends into Warhammer. And this is a topic that I've wanted to raise actually on the channel as well, to see if any of you have had any success with regards to this. I have not at all. I played games at work, actually ran games at work, but nothing specifically Games Workshop related, although I did run some, I think a Predator tank and a few other things in a futuristic scenario of my game, Just Plain Chaos, which I'm pleased to say is getting kicked off again. So that will start being part of the channel as well. And I'll get some Just Plain Chaos content here. I do like the Strike Force. Very nice, very nice. Imperial Space Marines. Anyway, so, but I didn't play anything Games Workshop, and I have a fellow who's local to me, who I used to work with, who I actually got a Space Marine Battle Force 2 because the hope was to actually start playing with him. But even with a Battle Force in tow, hasn't converted him. I guess, you know, hobbies are a very particular thing, and particularly as you get older, hobbies become very nuanced. So I'm interested in any feedback from folks in the chat, folks in the comments. Ooh, he's got some of these nice Skaven in this one. This is some greenskins. Nice mixing of dark metaphors here. The final magazine, 140. This marathon. This is the special Gold Demon Awards issue. So we have Robin Hughes, Rick Priestley, Jarvis Johnson, Mike McVeigh, and Andy Jones. Oh, this one's edited by Robin Hughes. Right, this is the amazing conversion over to Robin Hughes, August 1991. Very nice. We immediately get into the Phil Lewis Barnes. Fantasy Barnes. What makes a fantasy barn, I wonder? Warhammer novels? Ooh, so many novels. So little time. Lots of Jack Young. Hold on, look at these. Warhammer Old World. Ah, look at this. Topical. Very topical. The Old World Timeline. Incredibly topical, in fact. And in particular, very, very topical, once again. A winner. Oh, I do like this. I do like this. This is second place for an Imperial Guard patrol boat. Of course they've got patrol boats. I do like this one too. First place vehicle, Blood Angels Rhino. A Titan hangar. There's a lot going on here. These are the the two armless orcs, that's what I should call them. Second place monster. Interesting. Ooh, I do like these. Ogre Command Crew. Very nicely done here. They look on slightly bigger bases too, but oh, you've got to like this Mounted Chaos Cultist. Very interesting. All kinds of standard run-of-the-mill figures. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that a lot. It's very nice. The nice one. I'm wondering if anyone knows my dragon. Knows what kind of miniature it is or any interest. I probably should have put it in the video about it. I contacted my friend Ron Kleiss at My Mount Models yesterday as well to get some more bases to actually finish up those greenskins, which is a video I recorded a month ago, just indicating what additional bases I needed. So yet to hear back from Ron, but he did like something I did on Facebook recently. So I know he's about, I know he's yet to respond, but Ron's a very busy man, so always a pleasure just to get the correspondence when I can. Look at these these pictures here. Ooh, White Dwarf back issues. We've covered some of these, I think. More Space Fleet. Games Workshop Liverpool grand reopening. Must be after it was raided. I had a friend who worked for Games Workshop, and his store manager was just the most paranoid individual ever encountered. He'd go to the back and come back to the front and immediately accuse you of stealing blisters, and you'd just be like, who is this guy? What on earth is his problem? Anyway, he was just, I don't know. I guess I looked guilty, just in general. So that's probably what my problem was. And his problem was just that he thought I'd stolen blisters. But yeah, I've always found it funny, the people at Magic Games Workshop stores and their particular concerns at any given time. So yes, the notion of the Liverpool store reopening does offer itself a beautiful potential vignette into what the reason was for the closure in the first place. Ooh, I do like these spaceship pictures. These are all Jez Goodwin too. It's very recognisable, his hand, when you can see it. Oh, I do like this as well. This is not a Jez Goodwin, but oh, here we go. The Blood Bowl cheerleaders. I have a few of these cheerleaders actually. I got a Blood Bowl team commissioned. It's one of the last Rochi commissions I got. Oh, I do like these guys. I do like these guys. All kinds of Chaos Blood Bowl and Blood Bowl dwarves. You gotta love the dwarf cheerleaders. They're fun too. Oh, we've got these. Ending out. East Coast competition. Well, folks, this has been 5 White Dwarf issues, starting from, let's do it the right way, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, and 140. Even though the viewership didn't particularly like these 5 White Dwarfs in a row format, it's the weekend. I wanted to give you something long and somewhat tortured. And you got to hear about me going to a Guns N' Roses concert and various other little bits and pieces. So hopefully it was worth the price of admission. Tom Barbalet in Las Vegas, Nevada, signing out.